Okay, you can start.
Hi guys, welcome back.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, it's your favorite girls, NJ and
Chioma.
Yeah, Chioma. It's not Chioma.
Chioma. Duh.
You've gotten so used to the way they pronounce it.
Everybody says Chioma, so let's go with Chioma.
So yeah, this is Chioma. And it's good now.
We got no Chioma.
Anyway, so yeah, today we are here for another fun sit-down video, another fun chit-chat. Okay, so we all know that Chioma is a nurse. Okay, for those of you who don't know, this is my sister, my big sister. They're amazing, they're fabulous. Chioma! Okay, so we all know that she's a nurse, right? Okay, yeah, but I think the thing is you don't know what kind of nurse she is. In one of my vlogs, we, asked for you guys to guess what kind of nurse she was or she is, and a lot of people said pediatric nurse.
For some reason, thank you so much. That's such a compliment to think that I'm patient enough to deal with kids.
She is.
I appreciate that compliment.
I would have made that same,
really?
Yes, if I didn't know.
Well, I don't love kids. Maybe I love them too much to be a peds nurse because I don't know. I'll cry all the time.
Your money will finish.
Yes,
because
I'll probably end up shopping for all the kids. So that's probably why I can't do peds. I'll be too emotionally involved.
Yeah, true. Actually, you will.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's actually the best quality as well. Anyways.
But
yeah. Okay. So we're all going to find out what kind of nurse Chioma is. Okay, we're all going to find out. Okay, before she actually says it, can you go to the comment section, guess again what kind of nurse she is before we actually, say what kind of nurse she is. Guess.
Think out of the box. Think out of the box.
Yeah, really think out of the box. And if you're in Nigeria, I'm sorry, you're not gonna get it. So I don't. No need guessing.
Yeah, it's not common in Nigeria.
It's not common
I've never ever heard of it.
Yeah, never.
In Nigeria.
Actually. Okay, so yeah.
But anyway, well, dun dun dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, so Chioma here is hospice nurse.
Yes. Hospice. So yeah, she's a hospice nurse. I didn't know what that meant until she became that kind of nurse. I didn't even, because we don't. Well, yeah, I didn't know what that was. What kind of nurse? Do you mind, just
telling you what a hospice nurse were? I've been a hospice nurse for a little bit over 2 years now, and it's been an amazing experience. So what we do, I know the title of this video is probably something.
I help people die.
I help people die
for a living.
I help people die for a living. So I really don't help them die. I just help keep people comfortable as they get ready to die.
Yeah.
So usually to qualify for hospice, you have to have a 6 months or less prognosis of living. So you don't have more than 6 months to live to qualify for hospice. It doesn't necessarily mean you have less than 6 months to live. It means that due to your disease condition, you may live 6 months or less. That your disease can cause you to live 6 months or less to be qualified for hospice. So I'm a hospice nurse, and what I do, I'm in long-term care hospice. So what I do is I go to am I deviating from the question? I'm still talking about what hospice is.
No,
hospice. Hospice are when so being a hospice nurse, I take care of patients who have stopped receiving aggressive treatment for their diseases, and these are patients that they are ready to die. They don't want their life extended in any other way. They're 99% of them
they don't want you to
resuscitate DNR, no resuscitation. They just want to go. So my job is to keep them comfortable as they can be as they get ready for that moment. So if it's pain, a lot of times we do a lot of pain management, behavioral. When I say behavioral, like emotional, like agitation, anxiety. Take care, just keep them comfortable, provide for them. With hospice, it's kind of a big, it has like different branches, like different, we have a lot of people on our care team. We have the nurse, the social worker, the priest, the doctors, just a lot of the CNAs. So it's a whole team that work together to take care of these patients and provide this extra care. When I go to long-term care facilities, I refer to my hospice patients as VIP patients because they get all the extra perks.
Yeah.
They get everything that the long-term care has to offer, plus the hospice care, and we're there like all the time. and we make sure that they're really comfortable, like very comfortable. So
yeah. And initially you said that you don't think you would be a good fit in pediatrics because you get too emotionally involved.
yes.
But don't you also get emotionally involved here? Maybe you could build a bond with someone and then they get to die.
Well, most of my patients are the elderly. I've never had a peds patient.
Okay.
I don't think I'm cut out for that. I probably would not agree to that. But my patients are geriatric patients. So that, I do have patients like 90 something years old. I have a patient now that's 101 years old. I had one that was 104. These are older patients. Even though I get involved with them emotionally, but I also understand the reason why they're okay. They've lived their life to the fullest. Yeah. They've done everything they want to do and they're ready. And these people, they don't want life the way we want life. Like you wake up every morning and you're excited. Some of them wake up and they're like, why am I still here?
Yeah.
So they are ready, their families are ready. Sometimes the families are not ready, which is one of the amazing part of this job actually, is the fact that we not only prepare the patient for that moment, we also get the families ready. So these families know what is happening. We use a common word we use with hospice is decline. So as the patient declines, we're educating the families. So families know that, okay, we're going from a PPS 40% to a 30%. We're going to a 20. Our patient is eating less now.
PPS?
Girl, don't ask me right now. PPS, like you're 100 PPS. But the less you can do for yourself or the more dependent you are to live, then your PPS will reduce.
Okay.
So it goes, most of our patients are like 40, 30. We do have some 50s who are walking around. But anyways, where was I? Where was I? So yeah, we get the families ready. So we educate these families and tell them what patient is declining. Your loved one, well, she used to eat 50%. Now we're eating 40% of that food. We're eating 25%. So they know that their loved ones are declining. So it's not like, most times it doesn't happen suddenly. So they are aware of what is going on. Okay. And then when that moment comes, when the person transitions, they are ready. They're already expecting it.
True.
They know what is going on. They're not confused. All their questions have been answered. So it's easier for them to accept what just happened. And we get a lot of times these people will come back and they're so thankful because they thought it was going to be traumatic for them when they lost mom. But now everything went so well and they don't feel that trauma. Instead, they feel peace.
Yeah, I
with
get
the
that.
whole process. They see that mom passed comfortably. Mom was not in pain, and mom was well taken care of by these nurses who are practically angels. And they show a lot of appreciation for that, and I think that's very admirable, and it's something that I actually want for myself. I told my husband, if for any reason I have that kind of condition, I want to be a hospice patient, and I want you to put me in the hospice I work for because the staff there are amazing. But I've come to see the benefits of being a hospice patient. Okay. And it's beautiful. I know it sounds weird, but it's actually beautiful, just the whole process and seeing that patient comfortable and seeing how families come together and accept what just happened, and everything just goes so well.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can answer this, but like, have you ever been beside a patient holding their hand while they took their last breath? No,
actually I haven't. Okay. I wish I could say that I have, but I'm glad I haven't. I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. But I haven't been there while somebody took their last breath. I've seen a patient who has passed and been with them, sat with them, but I haven't been present at that time. But I've seen them go through the process of dying. There are different processes, you know. When the patient is dying, things that you see. If you want to talk about that, I can tell you some of that. Breathing change. Why do you want to talk about that? The breathing changes. Sometimes they have like terminal restlessness, which is one of the things we take care of. So when there's terminal restlessness, we know what to do to calm the patient down and make them comfortable. Their breathing. Their breathing pattern changes. Sometimes they're breathing so fast. It's like, sometimes they're breathing so fast and we have to give medications to calm that down. Sometimes their breathing is just very slow. And when that happens, we just let it be. They're comfortable. But I'll say one of the medications, which you probably won't ask me this because you don't know. One of the medications that when people wear hospice, everybody thinks, oh, morphine. We are going to kill them with morphine. But that's not true. Because we have patients that are currently on morphine and they've been on morphine for like a year or even 2, and they're still fine. When people hear hospice, they think, oh, you're going to kill them. You're going to kill that person. They're just going to give them morphine and kill them. But that is not true, because we don't give morphine unless it's needed. And a lot of times when patient is dying, with the respiration, sometimes the patient is in respiratory distress when they're breathing so fast, then we give morphine, because morphine helps to regulate their respirations and help them breathe better, make them more comfortable. Or when they're in pain, then we'll give morphine. And we don't usually start with a high dose of morphine. You know, it starts with the lower dose and then gradually increase it if the patient needs it. But I just wish people would understand that hospice does not use morphine to kill patients.
Okay, so that's a thing in America.
It's a thing where even people, the educated people here, a lot of people, when they hear hospice, they're like, oh my God, yeah, they're just going to give them morphine to kill them. If the patient dies, we don't get paid, just so you know. So I don't know why we're going to be in a hurry to kill that person. Yeah, but morphine is just an amazing medication that helps patients sometimes. Not every patient gets morphine. A lot of patients go through their whole life and never get morphine. But it's just one of those things, controversial medications that people talk about, and I wish more education would be provided for people. So when they hear morphine, they don't think death. Because that's not it.
Okay. So what's the most rewarding thing about being a hospice nurse?
Oh, the best thing, the most satisfaction I get is when I have a patient who wishes to transition comfortably, which is the wish of every patient anyways. And I see that a patient dies on transition, and the process was smooth, and this patient was not in any pain, and I was able to provide care and everything the patient needs to transition. And then to put icing on the cake is when family members are happy with the whole process and how it went, because they were very well informed and educated. And instead of just that sadness, it's more of gratitude for them that mom lived a good life and died a very peaceful death. So that's the reward for me. I just seeing, just making sure that patient goes comfortably.
So how is your work schedule? Like, how flexible is this job?
Well, for me, I go to long-term care facilities. Right now, I go to 4 long-term care facilities, and I take care of our hospice patients there to provide for them. So I'm actually an RN case manager. I'm not the one giving the shots or the medications. There are already people at the facilities doing these things. So my job is to go there, do a comprehensive assessment, do patient visits, just to assess the needs of the patient, and then find whoever that needs to provide that need for them. If it's medications, I'll collaborate with the doctor for them. We have a nurse practitioner too. If it's care needs for cleaning and their hygiene, I talk to the aides. And you know, or if they need prayers, I talk to the chaplain. So I just help to coordinate that care for the patient. So I'm an RN case manager. For the flexibility, so I do have a caseload of patients. So right now I have about 15 patients on my caseload, and for each one of them I have to do like a comprehensive visit every week. Well, it's supposed to be once every 14 days, but we do it every week because we can. And then provide and then do focus visits depending on what needs the patient needs after the comprehensive visit. Like if I get a call that the patient is having difficulty breathing, then I have to go back and assess the needs and figure out what to do to make them comfortable. But so I wake up in the morning. Usually after the kids stuff, I get on my computer and check what's been going on with my patients, you know, just check their needs and then figure out where I'm going for the day. Usually I have patients in mind to go to for the day, to see for the day, but that could change. That's very flexible on who I see every day. So I get to decide who I want to see for that day, who needs me for that day. I need to kind of take care of their needs. So when it comes to flexibility, it means I'm not like on a timer, like where you have to be at work at 8 o'clock. My work starts at 8 o'clock, but that doesn't mean I have to physically be at the facility at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, I'm already on my computer. I'm looking through it and trying to figure out if I have notes to do that I want to complete, if I have orders to put in, or I have things to order for the patient. I can start doing that at 8. It doesn't necessarily mean I have to be right at the patient's bedside at 8 o'clock. So that possesses some sort of flexibility because I could do that without being right by the patient. And then when I do decide to see the patient, and then I can decide, I mean, do I want to see 4 patients today? Can I see 3? can I only handle 2 patients for today because these patients really need me. And there's no time limit as to how much time I spend with a patient. I could spend 3 hours with a patient if that patient needs 3 hours of my time. So that's what we do. So it kind of flexible, and then I have to go from one facility to another. So to me, that's kind of like a break. Like going from one place to another, I can stop by and grab some lunch on my way. If I have something I want to do real quick, I can just consider that like a lunch break, and I stop somewhere and do something what I need to, and then I continue with my visits. But at the end of my work day, I have to make sure that I have provided for every patient that needed me for that day.
So did you always want to be a hospice nurse, or was it just something, you know, that fell on your lap, or, you know, a step to the next, you know, phase, or next job?
Actually, when I never imagined being a hospice nurse. It was never in my radar. I was just trying to get a job. And then this agent reached out to me about hospice. And I mean, she kind of said nice things about it. And she said, oh, they really like their nurses. They take care of the nurses, and their nurses are so well appreciated and all that good stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a try. I like challenges. So I was like, you know what? I'm up for the challenge. Let's try it and see. But she did talk about the emotional aspect of it. And she's like, well, you have to be strong, and because you could get emotionally involved and all that. And I was like, well, no, I'll be fine. So, and then I remember doing orientation. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know if I can do this. Because they made everybody cry during orientation when they talked about something. There was this scenario about this kids losing their dad. And that was really sad. But anyways, it's been very rewarding.
Okay, so what would you say is the most challenging part about your job?
Most challenging part would be pleasing the families. Pleasing the families sometimes, because some families have their loved ones under hospice care, but they still don't understand what hospice is all about completely. They understand a little bit of it, but they don't fully understand.
That was going to be a question I was going to ask. Really? How you make them understand what hospice care is all about.
Some people already know, but some people don't understand. They know that, okay, mom doesn't want aggressive treatment anymore, but why are we even in hospice? So as the patient is declining, I'm telling you, well, mom is not eating as much, and then they're worried, oh, let's give her this, let's offer her this. She doesn't have the appetite for it. And she's a hospice patient. We just want her to be comfortable. It's not just about feeding her. It's about making mom comfortable, making sure mom is comfortable. Because sometimes you actually feed the patient so much, and then they become uncomfortable. If mom doesn't want to eat, mom doesn't want to eat. Just let her be. So it's hard for them to just accept little things like that when a patient is declining. Or let's just say mom is having pain, and we need to start her on stronger pain medications. And then, for example, let's say I said morphine. I'm like, oh my God, morphine, are you trying to kill her? Usually we don't go to morphine at first unless there's other factors to be considered. But usually, when you say tramadol or all the other pain medications or hydrocodone, oh my God, addiction, this, I'm like, at this point, we're not worried about addiction. I mean, there's really nothing. So, but just that, so that we have to continuously do offer those education about disease process and management of those diseases. So sometimes that could be challenging, just getting the patient to stop trying, and then they want to do all these lab works on the patient. What are we looking for? You're going to do labs, and you're going to find out patient has something. The iron is high, low, this one is high. I mean, and so what are you going to do? We don't want to get treated for all those things anymore. So why are we even fishing for those answers?
True. So, because for the patient to be in the hospice, that means they don't want any...
They don't want all that. So why are we doing all these lab works, trying to get all these results? I mean, sometimes we need to do it for some reasons. I mean, if the patient has UTI, when we suspect a UTI, we have to do a UA. But apart from stuff like that, why are we fishing? Why are we checking the liver enzymes? I mean, what are we going to do with it? So just getting their brain to accept hospice care management, that can be challenging sometimes with patients. So that's one of the biggest challenges. And I don't want families to be sad or feel like we're not doing enough for the patient. So it's just, that's continuous education.
So how do you offer patients like emotional care and not just medical care?
Oh, okay, that's actually a good question, because a lot of times with the hospice patients, what they need is more of emotional support. A lot of times they just want some emotional support. We do have a beautiful, amazing social workers that work with us.
Okay.
And so when I visit a patient and I say, oh, this patient is going through some emotional, trauma or needs some emotional support, and then I reach out to the social worker, that's right, it's a team, and I say, oh, so person will definitely benefit from a visit from you. And the social workers are amazing. They can sit with these patients for 2 hours, just talking, rubbing their hands, rubbing their back, just talking to them. We do also have massage therapists on the team. We do have music. So if I see, oh, this patient needs more, I can put in for a massage for that patient, for music therapy, where they'll come and, play music and sing with the patients. The social workers are amazing. They talk to them. And while I'm there, as a nurse, I can do some kind of emotional support. Like I do the dancing because I always like my patients to be happy. I like to make them laugh. I like to make them smile. And not just going there and figuring out, oh, what medication do you need? So I just kind of talk to them. And a lot of times you have to be ready to hear the same stories over and over again and answer the same questions over and over. And you have to always act like you never heard it before. So just sit with them and let them, and just give them the opportunity to share with you what they can remember. And we always have to kind of, whatever their reality is at that point, to live in it with them. So if at that moment this patient feels like she's 25 and she's going out for a party tonight, girl, we're going for a party tonight and we're getting ready, we're talking about makeup, we're talking about everything. So wherever they are at that point, we're living in that. Unless maybe the patient goes to somewhere sad, then we'll try to kind of navigate them and, kind of lure them away from that thought. But apart from that, if they think they're 5 years right now and mom is calling them for dinner, I'm 3 and I'm getting ready for dinner with you.
That's nice.
So wherever they are at, we stay in their reality with them
nice.
At that point.
That's really
and
nice.
So it's actually very fun. It's interesting.
Okay, so how does pain management in hospice care differ from a regular hospital?
Well, I would say with hospice care, because our main goal is patients' comfort, we're able to give, should I say, we're more generous with pain medication than hospitals.
That's why they think you're killing them with morphine.
No, that's not it. We're kind of more generous because when it's hospital care, you're talking about addiction. They're talking about the long-term side effects of this medication.
Oh, true, long-term.
But these patients have 6 months or less to live. Why are we letting patients be uncomfortable because of what could happen if they were on the medication for 5 years? Patient is not going to be here in 5 years, so why don't we just give the patient what we can give them to make them comfortable right now?
Okay, that makes
sense.
So
I think that's how it differs.
That makes sense.
Because if somebody was giving you a pain medication that addiction, you could go out and buy that medication for yourself. When you're addicted, you go searching, but these patients are there. They only take what you give them.
True.
So we're not worried about addiction.
Okay, that makes sense.
And even though these doses are controlled, and we usually start our patients with very low dose medications. And if they're not comfortable, we'll go high, and we'll go as high as we can to make that patient comfortable.
Okay. So have you ever learned any life lessons from a patient at end of life?
Oh yeah, I would say that I've learned what I've learned working with hospice is that live your life.
Oh,
just live your life. And I think maybe that actually affected me, my personality. Like you said, I'm more energetic, I'm more active, I just want to do stuff, I'm happier. There is no time to waste. If you're wasting your time dwelling in your sorrows or your problems and every second passes, these patients, you actually see that they lived. And a lot of times, those patients that are ready to go are patients that they've traveled all over the world. They've done so many things. And we're wasting our time not living.
So chase that dream.
Chase your dream, live. There is no time. So these patients, like when you see them at this time when they're very fragile and frail, we forget that they used to be once like us. That is going to be me someday by God's grace. It's a blessing actually. It's a blessing if I'm going to be in their position one day where I'm 97 years old and I've lived my life fully and I'm ready to. I told my patient one and I said, it's a blessing. It's a privilege. So I've lived your life so well that you're ready to die and you're not afraid to die. I don't know if I'm ever going to get there.
True.
Just seeing them and then hearing their stories, for some of them I can tell them, You see that they live their life, they travel, they had fun, and then they have regrets. You know, some of them have regrets of maybe the way they treated their spouse or how they weren't there for their children, and right now they have those regrets. So I've just learned from them to always live your life, be in the moment, be present in the moment, be happy.
Okay.
Because we don't know.
Yeah. Just be happy.
Just be happy, live your
Present
life.
in the moment.
Yeah, just be happy. There's no point, like the fights and the anger, just let it go and just be happy. Because this is a privilege that we're able to be here right now.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
do things for ourselves.
Definitely.
Yeah, so just be happy. And for children, I pray and I hope that people, you take care of your parents. You be there for them. Because we do have those patients that their families are present. Yeah. And then we have families who are not present, not because they don't want to be present, but you know, life happens, and people have to be all over the world trying to survive. And you can see the families, the parents miss them. They wish their children were there, for those I can remember. And then for those that have families, I just look at the children coming every day to see their parents, even though they're in long-term care. They are visiting, they are being there for them. And it's just very admirable when I sit and see that the daughter will come in and give the mom in long-term care a nice shower, put lotion on her body, massage her or him, and comb their hair. They bring in food for them, they stay with them, they talk with them. I mean, it's just beautiful. Yeah. And so I've learned that. I mean, just be there for your loved ones as much as you can. Okay. Yeah, and if you can't, you understand. You know, some people, not everybody is privileged to be able to provide that care because of their own personal struggles. Yeah, true. And I would definitely understand that.
Yeah. So what would you say to someone who is afraid of choosing hospice for a loved one?
I understand. I understand the fear, because hospice is not something that is generally talked about. There's not a lot of education on hospice care. So I definitely understand why you are afraid. But what I would say is that to choose hospice, I mentioned in the beginning, you do have to have that 6 months or less to live. And when a loved one is at that point, and you know, and doctors have told you that there's nothing more they can do, I think we're taking away from the patient if we don't provide hospice care. Because you're not giving this patient a break to breathe. You're not giving your loved one time to just relax and be comfortable before they finally transition. Yeah. It doesn't stop you from praying. I mean, if you want to pray for a miracle to happen, you can do that. You can keep doing that. But just that hospice care is just, I said my hospice patients are the VIP patients. They are well taken care of. They are provided for. I mean, they have me. I'm visiting them all the time. And they have these beautiful social workers and people. So I would say, if your loved one, if you're at the point where the doctor tells you, put mama or papa in hospice care, I would definitely recommend that you listen and you do that. Because at this point, you have to stop thinking about yourself. Think about mom, think about daddy, think about that person. What would they want? What would be the best thing for them at this point? Because if you think about yourself, then you probably will make the right decision. But just take yourself out of that equation and think about them. What would be best for them? Yeah. And hospice care will be the best for them at that end of life, because hospice will keep them really comfortable. We actually discharge people from hospice care. Some people come on hospice, they have 6 months to live. And under hospice care, they start doing better and they get discharged. It doesn't happen very frequently, but there's a possibility. So that the person in hospice doesn't mean the person must die. Yeah. If the patient is actually getting better, we do discharge patients from hospice. I currently have one patient I think I might be discharging. I might recommend for discharge, but we do discharge them because they are still so well taken care of. The only difference is that we'll stop the aggressive treatments. Yeah. And we'll do more of management. Manage their symptoms and make them comfortable. Okay. So, yeah.
Okay, so in conclusion, like if you could share one thing about hospice care or hospice that everyone doesn't know, what would that be?
Everyone doesn't know? Let's see. Everyone, what would people not know about hospice? Let's change the word hospice to comfort. Hospice is comfort. I know that patient is going through a tough time, but when you think hospice, I want you to think comfort at the end of life.
Okay.
That's what hospice is.
Okay.
It's comfort.
Okay.
Yeah.
This has really been nice. I've learned so much.
I hope so.
Thank you so much. And I'm sure that, our viewers here, they've learned a lot too. Hospice is not a term that we use in Nigeria, right? So this is all new to me. Yeah. And, I just wish that, I don't know, maybe there are things like this in, some parts of Nigeria, but mostly, we don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really good to have all this information and all that. Thank you so much. I'm sure there are people like me watching who are just hearing this for the first time, So thank you so much. I've really learned a lot. I'm really grateful. Yeah, I know you're my sister. I know, duh. You don't have the choice, but duh. Yeah. Well, I'm still so grateful that you came here to just share.
Thank you for having me. And please, whenever you hear hospice, don't think think comfort. And the people that work with hospice, all the nurses, the social workers, the aides, I don't know how they are picked, but they're a group of amazing.
A question just popped in. I don't know, maybe some people may want to ask this. What's the difference between, is a hospice the same thing as a old people's home? Like, what do you guys call it? It's not the same, right?
No, it's not the same thing. So, old people's home, which we call the long-term care facilities, which is
care,
where I go. Like nursing homes, you have the nursing homes and assisted living facilities for people that can do some things for themselves. So we're in nursing homes and long-term care facilities, which is what you call old people's homes.
Yeah.
We have patients there that live there that are hospice patients.
Okay.
So I go to those facilities to see just those patients that are hospice patients.
Okay.
My hospice, I'm not the only hospice. The company I work for is not the only hospice company. There are different hospice companies, but I work with one particular one that's absolutely amazing. So I go there to see the patients in those facilities. So not all the people there are hospice patients.
Okay.
Some people, so.
Okay, so now let me get this. Oh, I think I've been getting it all wrong. So in my head, there's a hospice hospital.
Oh.
Okay, so you guys have your patients like there are some at the hospital, some in the long-term care.
Yeah, we usually don't have patients in the hospital. We have them in long-term care or at home.
Okay.
So we have them at home or long-term care facilities, and we just go and we see them. We do have a hospice inpatient unit, which is where we use for, I don't want to say short-term rehabilitation, but let's say a patient is transitioning sometimes and the symptoms are not being well controlled in facilities, like they're in pain, they're having difficulty breathing, and the dose of morphine or dose of medications that we can give and how often we can monitor these patients cannot be done in nursing homes or the long-term care facilities. Then we'll take the patients to the inpatient unit. Though we don't have so many rooms, just a few rooms there. Inpatient units where we make these patients extremely comfortable. It's like taking them from a 2-star hotel to a 5-star hotel, and that's where they stay, and a lot of times they transition there. Or maybe a patient is just having that short-term period where they have a symptom that's not being well controlled. They're not dying yet, but they have something that the facilities cannot manage. We put them in the inpatient hospice, get that under control, and bring them back to the facilities. So it's not like a hospital, it's just an inpatient unit where we use to stabilize patients or where patients a lot of times transition. It's a really beautiful room. The families can stay there, spend time with them, can sleep there. The nurses there, they really came down from heaven. Those are angels that work there. They literally just flew down with wings down there, and the nurses are amazing. So they take care of them and make those patients very comfortable as they transition.
So that's good to know. Thank you so much. If you have any more questions, maybe questions we didn't answer in this video, please ask. Ask in the comment section. Chioma will be there responding to all your comments.
I'll respond, but I do love my patients. I love them. I look forward to seeing them.
One time we were home having a good time, and then I think maybe a colleague of yours called her and said, "Oh, this patient is dying. I know you're close. Would you like to come down?" And she drove over 40 minutes just to go see that patient and say the final goodbye. And they did pass away that night. So
I love my patients so much. They're just really sweet. I love my patients. I love seeing them. I love talking with them. I love their stories. I could hear it over and over again. So, but it's just a job that I'm happy. I'm happy with the job.
I'm happy that you're happy. Okay then. You guys, thank you so much for watching. We always appreciate you being here. Thank you for all the love on my videos since I got here, you guys.
Because I'm here. Because I'm here.
Yeah, you guys love her. Whatever. Thank you so much. Please do not forget to like this video. Okay, give it a thumbs up. Let's chit chat in the comment section. Share this video if you've enjoyed watching. And of course, please subscribe to my channel. Also, hype this video. It's there. Just hype it, okay? Thank you so much once again, and I'm going to see you guys on my next video.
And I'm going to have to go off to work.
Yep.
And just see those patients.
See you next time.